Is Alabama's stock down in 2026? That's the biggest question here. I'll say like this: it depends on how you view it. Because if you view it from what Alabama did in year one, going 9-3, right, losing to Michigan in the bowl game. Year two, making the SEC championship game, going 10-2 in the regular season. There's an improvement there. Making the college football playoffs, beating Oklahoma on the road in the first round, right? You get your tail whooped by Indiana, but to be fair, they at least went on to be 16-0 undefeated champs. Not making an excuse. I'm just including all the details because that is a fact. It's not. It's not saying it makes it better, but at least it's a team that also went and dominated a really good Oregon football team with the quarterback that was supposed to be the number 2 quarterback taken in the draft and a lot of other good players. So for what that's worth. And then last but not least, I wanted to point this out though, because we've talked about on this show, and a lot of our listeners have also agreed that with the youth that we have, with like he mentioned, you don't have a true starter at quarterback. There's a quarterback battle, or I should say a returning starter with experience. A lot of things he listed is what I'm getting at is things that we've mentioned on this show. Because you guys know on our show, we love Alabama. I'm a former player, all that good stuff. But we like to be objective and call it even down the middle. A lot of the concerns that he mentioned, I've also mentioned that are definitely, they're for sure question marks. So if you look at it from the angle that even we've said this, there's a chance that this season you might take a step back, looks and feels a little bit like a 9-3 season. Technically, we're being honest, that means stock down. That doesn't mean, the sky's falling. It's this big drop off. No, but to be fair, that's technically the definition of that. A lot of people even agree that there's a chance 2026 could be a little bit of a step back for Alabama with all the youth and all the new faces and the question marks, and maybe 2027 being a little bit more of a year where some of those guys are older, more developed, and they make a little bit more of a run. Not saying that that's going to happen, not saying I can predict the future, just saying based off of what we know now, it has a little bit of that feel to it. So I guess what I'm saying, Reed, is if we're being honest with ourselves and we're going off of everything that, at least what I've been talking about on this show over the last few weeks about my questions for this Alabama football team, technically can't say that he's wrong with what he's saying if you line it up with what I've said. However, I feel like the way he presents it is as if like Alabama, the way he says, I think Georgia, Texas, then Alabama. That's the biggest problem I have, because you kind of discrediting the fact that Alabama made it to the SEC championship game and they made it to the college football playoffs. And really the year before that was Coach DeBoer's first year. And the year before that, Alabama was in the semifinals and barely lost to Michigan.